All right, it's Scorpio, gorgeous Scorpio. What is going on with you? We've got this Hanged Man, followed by the Nine of Cups, followed by the King of Coins. Good. Sometimes you got to take a stand. That's the Hanged Man. Sometimes you just got to take a stand rather than hanging. When we're hanging, we think, oh, this is, I'm at the effect of the world. Or a lot of times the Hanged Man is either a humiliating experience or trying to avoid a humiliating experience, worried about being embarrassed. Sometimes that Hanged Man is all about sacrifice and playing the martyr and how come nobody ever appreciates me, those kinds of things. And those are just, and there's many other manifestations of the Hanged Man. But they're all just ways of avoiding taking a stand. They're all just ways of avoiding putting your foot down, because we like to, when we're in the midst of this, we like to say, well, I can't do anything about it. Look at me. I'm just hanging up by a foot and my hands are bound behind me. What am I supposed to do? I can't do anything. I'm a victim. And the infinite says, but are you? Are you hanging upside down, or are you perceiving everything upside down? Maybe you're not hanging upside down. Maybe that's just a story that you've bought into. Maybe the truth is this. Maybe you're standing on one foot. Maybe you've got your arms behind you and you can just pull them apart and put your foot down and take a stand. Maybe you can say no when you mean no, and yes when you mean yes. Maybe you have more power than you say, but because you are allowing yourself to be hypnotized by either your own ego or the general zeitgeist, the general group mind, that you're just a victim like the rest of us. Maybe if you took a minute and said, or not. What if it's not like that? What if everything is not the way I thought it was? Maybe I have all the power I need in any moment of time and point of space. And it's just a matter of me taking a stand, putting my foot down, and exercising that power. Well, when you do that, look at what happens. All that you've been putting up with either disappears, or what you've been putting up with, more specifically in this reading, what you've been putting up with not having rushes into your life. Because you took a stand and you said, I'm not going to live like that. I'm not going to perceive my life like that. I'm not going to perceive everything upside down. I'm going to perceive everything as it is, right side up. And when you do that, then you've released those bonds completely. You've taken the cover off the magnet and everything just comes rushing in. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. There's nothing you can do to stop it because of your magnetism. And this is a very magnetized, very satisfying card, this Nine of Cups. Expect satisfaction, Scorpio. Expect satisfaction when you take a stand. Expect satisfaction when you say no to something you don't want to do. Expect satisfaction when you say yes to something you really do want to do. Expect satisfaction when you take a stand and you say, I am not being victimized. I am not being victimized by this world. I'm not. I am not going to perceive it that way. And I'm going to be vigilant with my perception, and nobody can make me feel any different than the way I feel. I'm not going to be subject to the comings and goings of all of the nonsense in the group mind. I'm taking a stand and I'm thinking what I want to think. I'm perceiving how I want to perceive, and I get what I want. And that's true. You do get what you want, but you were getting what you want. You were getting what you wanted when you were in the Hanged Man situation too, but you just didn't realize that that's what you were doing. So now you've said, well, I don't want that anymore. I want to take a stand. I want to put my foot down. I want what I want when I want it. And then the universe says, well, then here you go. Right? It's just that simple. And I think many of you are already experiencing that. I just by the placement of these cards, it looks like many of you already. This is me preaching to the choir. I'm giving you some clarification on that which is already happening. But if it's not the case, then this is available to you. Now, this Knight of Coins here is saying that you also need to remember that it's not all about you having to do everything by yourself. that when part of what's rushing into you is not just goods and services and resources, what's rushing into you is all the help that you need. Because not in this world, Scorpio, in this particular world, nobody knows everything. Nobody's good at everything. It's just not how this world is set up. So that's why we need other people. Otherwise, we would just be all by ourselves in the world, because we would be an island and nothing else would not matter. But we have other people in this world because we each have our own gift. We each have our own strengths. And our strengths help to fill in the gaps where other people don't have those strengths. And that's just the way it's supposed to be. So one of the things that's coming in to your life is help. So accept that help as it comes. Say yes to that help. You don't need to be all by yourself. You don't need to be an island. That's not to say that you have to hang out with everybody all the time, but when the help comes, say yes to it. Those people are sent to you. Those people are being sent to you by the infinite, because that's part of the package here. It's part of all the good that's rushing into you, because you made a choice. You took a stand. And if you haven't taken a stand, you can take a stand right now. Queen of Cups. 8 of Swords. More Hermit. I love the Hermit. So the Hermit is the higher expression almost in this particular case of the Hanged Man, in that both of these are solitary creatures, right? This one is solitary because they feel like they have no choice. This one is solitary because they understand that this is your teacher, this is your guide, that you are worthy of their attention 100%. Right? So this solitary creature teaches this solitary creature here. This is you being solitary, needing help, and this is your teacher looking to give you what you need, and only you. They are tasked with being your guide exclusively, always, at all times. So you don't have to worry about getting in line or staying on hold until your teacher has time. Because that's all they're there for, is you. They're there for you all the time. So you don't need to make an appointment. You just need to show up. And you can't listen to the guidance of this teacher. You can't be led by the lantern that they're carrying if you're hanging on a tree by one foot saying, look, everything bad is happening to me and I'm a victim. You can't, because you have no facility. But you can listen to this guide when they tell you that's not what's happening. When this guide says, listen to me, be quiet, quiet your mind and listen to me, you're looking at things upside down. Turn it around, Scorpio. You have all the power. You have all the power. That's the lesson that they're teaching you. And then we have this beautiful this beautiful 9 of Cups that is released to pull in everything, including the help that you need. Now, while you're hanging out, I think many of you did start to have some awakening, right? So there's an opportunity no matter what's happening, even while you were feeling victimized, even while you were feeling like there was nothing that you could do, you were allowing yourself to contemplate the spiritual truths. And that's what opened you up, I think, to allowing for this decision. And like I said, if you haven't made that decision yet, consider making it immediately, deciding that the world is not the way you think it is, that everything is the opposite, and that you do have all the power, and that you can make a stand, and you can take a stand, you can put your foot down. Now, one of the things you have to take a stand about is your own thinking. This 8 of Swords is that constant, circular, obsessive thinking that we all go through. And that's one of the big tools of the ego, is to bombard you with that thought that it's like, you know how when you have a song that you can't get out of your head? These are the negative thoughts that you can't get out of your head. You just can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop thinking about it. And that's where you have to take that stand. And you have to be just as obsessive with those thoughts as they are being obsessive with you. And how do you do that? Well, there's a lot of ways. I love the off switch. That's my technique of choice. You can find that technique. There's a little video. It's very brief. Just go to YouTube and search Gotoga off switch. Learn how to use it and use it liberally. Use it 1,000 times an hour if you have to just shut down that obsessive thinking so that you can remind yourself everything is working out in a wonderful way because I'm taking a stand. I'm putting my foot down. I am not a victim. I am powerful. All the resources are coming to me. All the help is coming to me. I am not making choices by myself anymore because that's how I got up on this tree. I'm making choices together with my inner guide. And together we are forging a path of success. And that success is very, very, like I said, very satisfying. As unsatisfied as you've been, that's just barely scratching the surface of how satisfied you will be as a result of you taking a stand and really listening to that inner guidance and really nurturing that inner guidance and saying no to that obsessive thinking over and over again. All right, so if you decide that you want to do some meditations, we have 2 meditations indicated here. This one for the Hanged Man is called Using Your Sacred Power of No, and the one for the Hermit is called Working with Your Inner Guide. And you can find the tarot meditations by following the link right in the video description of this video on YouTube. And remember also that off switch technique you can find by going to YouTube and just searching Gotoga off switch. You're going to do great. Moving out of this Hanged Man is really unleashing power and resources and success your way. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators Shirley, Honeypaw, and Dre. See you in 2 weeks, Scorpio. Blessed be.